Now, Microsoft just dropped 66 new security patches, including one actively exploited zero-day threat. Now, a zero-day threat means that hackers are already using this to exploit and to break into systems and to compromise data. So you want to be aware of this. You want to take action. You want to actually take the precautions so that your systems are protected. If you're still using an old unsupported Windows version, your computer is really at risk because you can't get and install these security updates. Adobe also dropped a massive 254 CVEs, or common vulnerabilities and exploits, with some allowing silent Office attacks just by previewing an email. So here, listen, you want to stay tuned. We're going to break down these updates. We're going to show you which ones are the most dangerous. We're going to show you how you can patch these as well. We're here with a Faster PC Live technical support, and it's June Patch Tuesday 2025. Microsoft and Adobe just released a critical wave of updates. We've got 70 plus CVEs, or common vulnerabilities and exploits, in total, with 10 rated as critical. That's for the Microsoft patch. One is under active attack, and another is publicly known. Hey, listen, if it's not being attacked yet, it will be soon. I can guarantee you that. Also, Adobe has a massive release of patches, patching 254 flaws, including a single fix that covers 225 XSS bugs. So we're going to dive in to the biggest threats and show you what you need to know right now. Here we go. So with Microsoft, again, we're looking at 66 CVEs. Some additional ones are actually out there that are third party as well. So one of the big ones is titled CVE 2025 33053. It's the Web Dev RCE, or remote code execution. This is the ghost of Internet Explorer strike again. This bug forces Windows to use depreciated IE in legacy mode. Just clicking a malicious link fully compromises the system. You want to patch now, and we actually talked about this last month as well. So there were patches available for this last month, and you want to make sure that you also are updating your computer. So if you have an older version of Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 7 even, if you're running Server 2012, you'll want to update those to a later version to make sure that your system is protected. There's also a Windows Net Log EOP. This is a critical bug. The attackers can take over domain controllers. Domain controllers are used in businesses that have a server that functions as a domain controller by sending crafted auth requests. This runs with elevated privileges, and Microsoft warns that exploitation is likely. Again, if you don't install the updates, you're a sitting duck. You're going to have problems in the near future, very likely. There's also an SMB Client EOP. This is publicly known as well. All of these publicly known threats, and by the way, once Microsoft releases these updates, all of them really to some extent become publicly known. But this one is publicly known by the hackers as of the time that Microsoft released the patches. So this is a publicly known bug. Just connecting a malicious SMB server gives system level code execution. So there's an Office RCE, or remote code execution, in the preview pane attack. There's 4 Office bugs this month exploit the preview pane. That's where, let's say, you're previewing a file. No clicking is required. You don't even have to open it. Just by previewing this malicious file, you actually are at risk. Microsoft expects exploitation within 30 days, so you want to patch your Microsoft Office versions ASAP. And by the way, if you're using a version of Microsoft Office that is no longer supported, which is 2013 and earlier, and soon 2016 is going to be unsupported as well. Actually, in October 16th, Microsoft Office 2016 will no longer be supported. So you'll want to make sure that you're updating those versions of Microsoft Office so that you can get the latest updates. There's also Adobe. Their June patch actually covers 254 CVEs, or common vulnerabilities and exploits, 225 XSS flaws in one fix. So this is a massive amount of flaws, and one of these flaws actually will allow code execution when you're previewing a file in an email. So there's Adobe Reader has 10 flaws allowing open and own RCE, or remote code execution. InDesign and InCopy have critical code exploit execution bugs. There's no active exploits yet, but hey, you know what? It's going to happen soon. The updates are out there. You want to make sure that you're getting out there, that you're getting the updates installed. Now, I'm going to actually switch over to a full screen. I'm going to show you the steps that you can go through to actually install these updates. So we're going to switch over. We'll show you first Microsoft. We're going to click on the Start button. Now, what you're going to want to look for is a gear. If you're running Windows 10, that's going to be right above the Start button. If you're running Windows 11, it will be on the Start menu. I have grouped a lot of my pinned apps, and so mine are actually inside of a Utilities folder. So you're looking for this cog or gear, and you're going to want to go into there. You're going to want to click on Windows Update, and then you're going to want to check for updates. Now, if you haven't installed the updates yet, they will actually probably already be here. But I installed mine already, and we'll talk about how you can automatically get these installed here a little bit later. We're just clicking on checking for updates. If it does find an update, it will give me an option to install it. Typically, you see this little icon here? Typically, if your computer installs that, typically you'll see that little icon pop up in the lower right down here near the clock. And by the way, it did find an update for Windows Defender Antivirus, and it's installing that. But in the lower right near the clock, you'll see that symbol, and that'll indicate that the update has been installed, and you need to actually reboot your computer to make sure that the update is completed. So a Windows Defender Antivirus doesn't require a reboot, and some of the updates don't require a reboot, but many of the security updates do require a Windows reboot. And what happens is part of the update is installed while you're in Windows. And then as your computer is shutting down, additional components or elements of the update are installed. And then as your computer comes back up, additional elements are installed and completed, so that when you get back up into Windows, your Windows is fully and completely updated. Now, we actually do provide managed services, and with our managed services clients, all of our managed services clients have automated patching. That we actually run patches on their computers automatically. So we have software, and that software twice a day is looking for Windows updates, and this would include also updates to Microsoft Office if you have a supported version of Microsoft Office. And in addition to that, on average every 4 hours, we're looking to updates to other programs such as Google Chrome and Firefox. Last week we talked about a Google Chrome zero-day threat. They happen on a regular basis. These browsers, whether it's Chrome or Firefox or Edge, periodically they're going to have zero-day threats. Well, you know what? You could actually try to stay tuned to that, try to hope that you find out about it and make sure that you update it yourself manually, or you can actually sign up for a Faster PC's managed services. So in addition to getting remote support, in addition to getting in-shop support, and we do have plans that offer on-site support as well. In addition to getting all of that help, We also have patch management where you don't even have to worry about this. The patches are just installed automatically for you, and you can actually, those Adobe Reader updates, we're looking for those updates on average every 4 hours. We're looking for updates to the Windows security, that Windows Defender or Windows Security, we're looking for those updates every hour. I'm going to switch back over to a full screen. I'm going to show you how you can update Adobe. So we're going to click the Start button again, and we're looking for Adobe Creative Cloud. So if you have Adobe Creative Cloud, this is where you'll get this update. And what you're going to want to do is go into Adobe Creative Cloud, and then you're going to want to actually look for updates. And so you see here there's an updates right over here, and we have the updates available. Now you can actually check for updates. You can also turn on automated updates. I'll show you that in just a minute. My software has Adobe updates, automated updates turned on automatically. So by default, I'm automatically going to get those updates installed. You see it's checking for updates. If it finds any updates, it'll let me know about those. But you know, these all updated, many of these updated in the last little bit. Some of these updated even today, but you can click here, Manage Auto Updates, and just make sure that all of your auto updates are selected and that those are installed. So that what will happen is as updates come out, the Adobe software, as long as you have it running at startup, it will actually automatically install those updates. Now, if you do have Adobe Reader, maybe you don't subscribe to the full version of Adobe software, well, the Adobe Reader, you'll want to make sure that that is updated as well. And again, our managed clients get these updates automatically. So again, twice a day, we're looking for updates to Windows Security. One of those times, really at midnight, we actually automate a reboot if necessary. We don't automate a reboot in the middle of the day because, hey, people are working, and you know, you can, if you have time, you could reboot to get that update installed yourself. We don't want to disturb people during the middle of the day. So we have those updates that happen, and then on average every 4 hours we're looking for updates to programs such as Google Chrome, Firefox, Zoom, Adobe Reader. And you want to make sure that these updates, especially when there's a 0-day threat, make sure that those are protected and installed as quickly as possible. And then every hour looking for updates to Windows Security. Now, if you're out there and you're saying, you know what, I don't really have the time to keep track of all this and try to install this myself, how do I get signed up with your managed services? Well, give us a call, 772-878-5978, or go to our website at fasterpc.com and sign up for a free discovery call, and we can actually discuss making sure that your system is protected. Cybersecurity problems? You need a faster PC.